So, Andrew, is there anything we haven't sort of talked to or explored that, having a group of people listening that you'd like them to think about when it comes to the space you're working in? Is there anything you'd like to bring up that we haven't covered?
Yeah, I mean, I also I work with sex workers to have my needs met, and that's something that I've been doing now for the last 4 years. And I mean, I guess I would like to talk about how important and vital sex work has been to my kind of sexuality as a disabled person, and why I think it should be funded by disability schemes and by governments, and how important that is.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
brilliant. Let's go there. 100%.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just launch right in, or do you
Oh,
want
George,
to like craft?
go in. Yeah, definitely.
Um, all right. So I have been using sex workers for the last four and a bit years. And I discovered sex work when I hadn't had sex for like 10 months. I was depressed. I was really unhappy. And I kept going back to a website and I kept seeing it pop up on my feed. And I was like, I'm just going to click on and look. And I found somebody. I looked at the prices to hire a worker for an hour was like 250, and I was like, that's a lot of money. And I live on a fixed disability pension, so I had to decide: do I want to feed myself this week? Do I want to get groceries, or do I want to get my dick sucked, basically? And so I was like, well, I I really wanted to be touched, and I wanted that connection, and so I clicked on a guy that I liked, and I just emailed him and said, "Have you ever been with a disabled guy before?" And he said no, and I got kind of excited because I was like, "Oh, that's really great because I get to teach you about sex and disability, and it's brand new to you," which I always think is like I get turned on when someone says I've never been with a disabled guy before because I get to show them what that is. So I got excited and I said, well, okay, great, awesome. Like, let's set it up. And we started talking and I explained what my needs were. And I was so terrified because I'd never done it. I'd never done it. I was, I was just really uncomfortable just with the idea. And I thought, can I justify spending $250 an hour? So it ended up being like 500 the first go because I needed 2 hours to show him what to do. And so I felt shame because I was like, I should be spending that money on groceries. I should be spending that money on real things. And so, I also thought that I should be able to have sex the quote unquote normal way and not hire somebody. And I thought all the things we think about sex work and all the things we think about that kind of stuff. And so I was so ashamed that for the first session, like we barely spoke to each other. We had sex. I enjoyed myself, but I was terrified. So I didn't say much because I was trying to be cool and sexy. And so, but he and we built a friendship and we started talking. And he was like, I want to help you, access sexuality. That's what I'm here to do. I want to make you feel good. That's my job. I want to be there for you. And so we built up a friendship with each other where now, pre-pandemic, I would see him once every 2 weeks and we would have a session and we would have sexuality, and not just sexuality. We would, sometimes we go to the grocery store together. We shop, we go out for a coffee. It isn't just like come over to my house, fuck, and then leave. It's like, I mean, sometimes it definitely is that, but sometimes it's not. And it's nice because it allows me to be sexual with someone that I trust. And yeah, it's not covered by governments and it's not covered, technically in Canada, it's not illegal to be a sex worker, but it's illegal to um, pay a worker. So it's all hush hush and in a weird gray area where it's not illegal, but it's not legal either. It's very weird. But for me, it's been such a boon for me in terms of my mental health. I'm happier. I'm more confident. I feel like I can access my queerness in a way that I didn't get to before. And my sex worker, John, and we've done, pornographic films together showing disability. And it's really opened up um, my the kind of advocacy that I do to show, look, here's a real live disabled person really having sex. Here's a video to prove it. Like what? like so
That's so
it's
cool.
changed the way I do advocacy. And I think sex work, if someone is in the financial has the financial means to do that, they should hire somebody and they should work with somebody, because it'll change your life. And I'm so proud to say that, working with John's made me a different person, and I'm a happier person because of my experience with sex work and disability. So I wish that governments would fund it all over the world. It should be part of, national disability schemes, um, and programs, because, even if it's once a month, at least that person is getting to experience pleasure on their own terms. And that's really powerful.
No, I think that's amazing and really important advocacy work.
Yeah, it seems like that with the legitimizing it, and maybe the funding thing that you're talking about and that kind of stuff might help a lot of people break down some of the barriers as well. Like you said, you experience, and there could be some of the things which you had to kind of crash into, the hurdles that you had to crash into and develop a trusting relationship and stuff like that. There could almost be guidelines around all that and stuff which is beneficial for people, maybe.
Yeah, and I think, there are programs in Canada. There's a program out of British Columbia called Sensual Solutions, and they do exactly that. They pair a disabled person with a worker, and they give them guidelines, and they have a session. I did it the more like guerrilla sort of way, where I just went on a website when I was horny, and I was like, "Yep, let's go, good." But like, there need to be programs for people with disabilities to explore that, because again, it's not only a physical experience. Like, he and I will joke around, we laugh, we like have intimate time together that isn't sexual. So I think for me, it's been a form of therapy to spend time with him, because I get to have sex if I want to, but I also get to just be like, you know what, being disabled was hard today. All I want to do is lie with you naked in my bed and feel safe. Like, if that's all I want to do for the session, that's what we'll do. So I think sex work is such an important part of the disability experience. And I also, on my podcast, have talked to a lot of disabled people who are also sex workers, who have said, being a sex worker with my disability allows me to have freedom in my job, freedom in, when I can work the hours that I can work based on my body, stuff like that. So I think we need to look at sex work as part of disability justice, and we're not really doing that right now, which is a shame.
No, I think that's it is a shame, but I think you just opened up a space to start some conversations about it, certainly for us.